CNN interviewed National Security Advisor Robert O'Brien about election security and foreign interference with the 2020 election. CNN expressed shock and surprise to learn that Russia, China, and Iran are all trying to hack into U.S. government databases, specifically those related to the election. Here's the video of CNN analyzing National Security Advisor O'Brien's comments.
When asked about whether or not Mr. Trump has told leaders like Vladimir Putin to cut it out, the National Security Advisor responded with this quote, "I don't get into the conversations that the president has with foreign heads of state." As somebody who's covered the White House for a little while now, that is a stunning statement. What did you think of that?
Well, Jim, this is a bad look for U.S. national security. I worked under two national security advisors, and I can tell you that advising the president on what to say to foreign leaders is considered a key part of the job.
The reason CNN had to read O'Brien's statements rather than just play it so their viewers could see it was because it would have been obvious that the National Security Advisor was saying he wouldn't get into the content of discussions between the president and a foreign head of state with reporters. He wasn't saying he doesn't discuss it with the president. Rather than truthfully report that National Security Advisor O'Brien maintained his duty not to tell the press what the president talks about with foreign leaders, CNN spun it into a story saying O'Brien isn't doing his job. Way to twist his words to say something he never intended. Next time, just play the tape and let the public see what he really said. MSNBC's Joe Scarborough spoke with Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer this week, implying President Trump is trying to shut down the post office to prevent mail-in ballots for the 2020 election. According to Schumer, President Trump is trying to destroy the post office.
What can the United States Senate do? What can the United States House do to make sure that the president doesn't undermine the election?
The president he's wanted to destroy the post office. He gets these little bugs in his head that have nothing to do with reality. No one tells him the truth, and then he tries to go for it. So he's wanted to hurt the post office, maybe even destroy it, end it for a long time.
Actually, what President Trump has been saying is that he's upset that Amazon gets a special deal on postal services. The post office started delivering Amazon's packages at below cost in 2013, which has caused the postal service to hemorrhage money. For every Amazon package the post office delivers, it costs the post office just under $1.50 to deliver it. That deal occurred under the Obama-Biden administration. Who reaps the benefit of a below-cost shipping arrangement? Jeff Bezos, the founder and CEO of Amazon. President Trump has been trying to change the post office's operations to minimize the $16 billion annual loss the post office incurs. The post office has been taking on water since 2009. The year that Obama and Biden took over. President Trump isn't trying to destroy the post office to prevent mail-in ballots. He's restructuring its operations to ensure we get to have a post office. However, to their point, does anyone really believe the post office will properly handle the millions of mail-in ballots the Democrats want to flood into the system? Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer also spoke about the impasse between Republicans and Democrats on the coronavirus relief bill. Rather than acknowledge that Democrats stonewalled and made ridiculously outrageous demands, Senator Schumer blamed Republicans.
Speaker Pelosi and I continued to run into Republican intransigence. They didn't see people's needs the way we did. They didn't see the depth and breadth of this crisis.
We know this is blatantly false based on the president's executive order. The executive order is the middle ground. Just agree to that. The White House felt the $600 checks to Americans was too much and that it disincentivized people from going back to work. As a compromise, President Trump agreed to keep stimulus checks but reduce the amount to $400 to encourage Americans to get back to work. Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer are clearly the roadblocks, and yet here he is on the Senate floor blaming Republicans. Are Democrats now going to sue to prevent the $400 checks from reaching Americans, claiming the president doesn't have the authority to issue that executive order? That's a clear indication that they are the problem. Senator Schumer is lying, hoping Americans don't know enough about the situation to recognize his blatant lies.